So what we're going to do is we're going to fix this section from this body line down and all this side around. With all this damage, the way this was pushed in, it pushed this side of the fender out. So if you see right here, there's a bulge, which is going to affect the final fit and finish of everything. All this has been pushed in, this has been pushed in. There's been a lot of metal work on this side, which is it's completely wrinkled. This body work here, whatever they were trying to do, actually affected this section and pushed this part in a little bit. So when we tried to fit the grill back in the car, it was pushing the fender out. So what we're going to do is we've got a donor piece from another car. This fender was in horrible shape in the back side of it, but the front part of it was in really good shape. The metal's all here, it's solid. There's a few pit marks in where the light goes, but we can easily fix that. But there's no damage in the eyebrow. There's no damage at all where the fender goes. So we're going to cut and graft this piece to go in, and it's going to blend into the body line up here. It's got the bottom part of the headlight bucket. So we'll fix it up to about right to this line here. So all of this damage is going to be fixed by grafting in this piece here. This section here, we're just going to work it with a hammer and a dolly to try to smoothen that out and bring it back out. Because this section, if you look at this line right here, was pushed in probably about 1/4 of an inch inwards, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But so we're going to bang that back out and try to get this smooth and get this smooth before we cut this and put this piece in. So here we have pictures of the fenders when they were in bare metal. And now here we have pictures when it was in epoxy primer, and it shows the dents, it shows the wrinkles, it shows the warpage that we're going to try to fix. So what we're going to do is we're going to hammer and dolly this out and smooth this out and try to fix this. So the dolly that I'm using has different surfaces on it, different curves on it, and that's why you're seeing me turn the dolly to use the different surfaces that made up with the surface of the metal that I'm working on. I've got different hammers that I use. I've got thin hammers, I've got wider hammers, and it's all to just work the little dents and keep working it until it gets smooth. The goal is to get it as smooth as possible, to use as little body filler as possible as well. In this section I'm using a punch to work small defects from the back side to push them back forward. Some may wonder why we're just not buying new fenders and taking the easy route. The newer fenders, they're 20 gauge steel, they don't fit as well, and the original fenders were 18 gauge steel, so the metal is a little bit thicker, a little less prone to dents and dings, and they're original, so it should just be a better fit, and we're doing our best to keep the car as original as possible. So what I've got is the new piece ready to go in.
Yeah.
I've trimmed the sides around here so it'll fit in. I've got it bolted into the original holes and a vice grip on it so I know where to mark my lines. And then I've got tape to mark where I'm going to cut it on the inside and then here across the bottom.
You'll see that we put the car back together, and I'll do the final welding with the car back together to make sure all the gaps and everything lines up properly. I'm using the square to make sure that the panel is straight, and I'm comparing it with the other side to make sure that they're both match. Stay tuned as the restoration continues. Please like and subscribe for further videos.